Hi everybody, it's Dave from the Fitness Formula going live, usually on a Wednesday, going for Thursday this week, just changing it up a little bit. I had a really good phone call with a client on Monday who's been struggling a little bit with their weight and their diet, and it's usually the same sort of questions that I tend to get on the phone to people. And at the end of the day, there's no real quick fix, as people hopefully know by now. When people are looking to lose weight or lose body fat, I mean, the most common expression is weight loss, and people want an instant result. That's because that's why people start in the first place. They want to see the scales change, they want to see that weight coming off quite quickly. And the problem with that is anything that you lose too quickly is very hard to sustain. And for those of you that have been with us before, or maybe you've done other challenges or 6-week programs, you know that the more serious you are with your diet, the quicker you're going to get results. Because in the day, no amount of crunches in the gym, no amount of running, no amount of exercise is going to make a huge difference if we don't tackle that number one thing, which is what most people struggle with, which is their nutrition. So here's a couple of little tips here for you today, guys, to try and get you just making some little changes to your current diet and nutritional habits that aren't too drastic. Because like I said, if it's too drastic and too serious, then it's never going to last long term. So first bit of advice is to, probably the most important thing, is to plan ahead. And a little expression I'm sure you've all probably heard is, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail, or something like that, isn't it? Or vice versa. Those people that don't plan ahead will often grab lunches on the way out, or they'll grab lunches when they're out and about with work. They'll just pick anything out of the cupboard in a rush because they're hungry and they're craving stuff because they're lacking things. The key is to plan ahead. So one thing that we actually do, we have a conversation at home on a Friday, Saturday, actually before that, I think a Friday, about what meals we're going to have the following week. So we actually write down on a bit of paper, on a post-it note, stick it on the fridge, that Monday to Friday, we don't plan for the weekend too much because it's nice to let your hair down a little bit, isn't it? If you've had a fairly healthy week, you should be letting your hair down and rewarding yourself a little bit at the weekend. But what we do is we actually plan ahead what we're going to have for our evening meal, and it's got to be child friendly. We've got 2 young children, so we make sure there's nothing too strict. A couple of examples might be some chicken, and I like sweet potato fries. My wife likes chips. We might have some salad and coleslaw with that, so it's not too strict. We might have some tortilla pizzas. The kids can sometimes help and make that, and that's a lot healthier than a normal pizza. Could be fajitas, chicken mix, wraps, things like that are fun that kids can get involved in as well. And it's easy, it's quick, it takes 15 minutes. Apparently, ask the wife who makes it for me when I'm late for work, running through the kitchen. But the key is to plan ahead. Too many people don't plan ahead. Especially people that live on their own. I think people that live on their own never actually plan what they're going to have. It's easier to plan when you've got a whole family to think about or a loved one to think about. But when you're on your own, people don't tend to do it. Actually, when you're on your own, it's technically should be easier because you've only got to think about yourself and what you like and don't like. And a massive tip I would say with that is to bulk cook. So bulk cook something that you like, for example, a spaghetti bolognese, or if you want to be a bit healthier, maybe a turkey mince bolognese, lots of fresh veg in there. You could use courgette instead of pasta if you really want to be extra healthy, or chili with a jacket potato or something that you can bulk cook out, and then you can have that over 2 or 3 nights. So a lot of people that take their health very, very, very seriously, a lot of bodybuilders, people that use the gym, people that compete, they will meal prep. But there's no reason why a normal person with normal goals can't prepare their meals in advance by having maybe 2 or 3 days a week where they bulk cook. So I'm usually quite routined with my breakfast. I have 2 or 3 breakfasts that I tend to go through, whether that's wholemeal toast with peanut butter, I might have granola, I might have overnight oats, maybe poached eggs on brown bread. Then, it's 3 or 4 things there that I'll just alternate between. With regards to lunch, I'll usually have the same sort of lunch every day for a whole week, Monday to Friday. So that might be chicken wraps, but different types of chicken, different dressings, obviously with salad. It might be this week I'm having Warburton thins with ham and mustard because I'm old school. I like mustard. Dad got me into that from a young age. It might be when I'm really good, I might actually bulk cook some chicken breasts, some sweet potato, maybe some butternut squash, some carrot, some greens maybe, and actually cook 3 days worth of that, put that in some boxes and keep it in the fridge, and then do that again midweek. So that way you've only actually got to prepare two days a week. You could cook on a Sunday, cook on a Wednesday, and you've got all your lunches sorted. You could do that for your breakfast, have 2 or 3 things that you just have ready to go and go between that. Evening meals, hopefully you'll know what you're having because you planned it the week before. So our shopping gets delivered on a Saturday. We order it on a Friday, and we've already written down what our next 5 meals are going to be Monday through to Friday. Massive tip. If you're not doing that, why not? That is so simple and effective. And then you only buy the stuff there that you're going to need for those meals. And then you're not having to think last minute. You're not having to go to the shop and buy something last minute that isn't going to be that healthy and fresh. So that's the biggest advice I would give. Planning your nutrition is just as important as planning your exercise. So if you're not exercising, you need to be. If you're trying to burn stubborn fat or stubborn weight, you need to be exercising 3 to 4 times a week, and actually planning that in advance as well. So when you're planning, maybe get yourself a document. One of our coaches, Michelle, she's got this on a template. So if you come here, you can have that. And what it is you're pre-planning ahead the next 7 days meals. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks and drinks. Really important you include those big things there. And then your exercise. You actually factor in what exercise you're going to do. And it's all about holding yourself accountable. So actually making a plan, share it with somebody, put it on the fridge, share it with a coach. Obviously, if we're helping you, write it down, let us see it, and we will hold you accountable as well. That's why people like things like MyFitnessPal, calorie counting. Some go a bit further and do macronutrients, but really keep it simple. Plan your meals in advance. Keep it fairly simple. Just stick to stuff that you know you like, but you find fulfilling and satisfying. Otherwise, you'll still be craving stuff afterwards. Have the odd bad day. You're allowed to have a cheat day, or at least a couple of days a week where you let your hair down. If you do fall off the wagon, don't beat yourself up and then go on a massive downward spiral because you've had one bad day. A little tip, a little thing I once learned, it takes up to 3 days to fully digest something. So if you've had something really naughty on a Saturday, maybe you've got, I don't know, till Tuesday or Wednesday to get that out of your system. And psychologically, that makes you feel better. And vice versa. I said to this lady I spoke to Monday, if you know you've got something coming up where you've got a night out planned or a friend's birthday party, and you know you're going to be eating food and drink and cake and everything else, save some calories up leading up to it. So start to cut back a little bit on what you're eating and drinking leading up to, you know, your night out or your big meal or whatever. And then you could save up some calories. Imagine you cut back your 1,500 calorie a day target if you're tracking it, and you're having 1,300 calories a day for 3 or 4 days leading up to that big night. You've saved 600 to 800 calories for that big meal. So that's going to stop you from gaining loads of weight. It's called a calorie deficit. If you want more information on that, pop me a message. But I hope that's been helpful. If it has, give me a thumbs up. If there's things there that you're definitely going to try, give me a thumbs up. If you know somebody that this might be helpful, to share it with them, comment. And as always, guys, let us know if you have any questions, and we'll see you soon. All the best. Enjoy the sunshine.